before you buy a Mitsubishi Endeavor or thinking about buying one, you might want to watch this video. I'm on one for 4 years. I'm going to give you my personal experience. I got tons of how-to videos on to fix it, so I know the insides and out of the Mitsubishi Endeavor. I got it pulled up here, that 3.8 V6. I went factory tire size on mine. It's right here, 4-speed automatic. It's got a manual flap shift or automatic shifter. You can, shift through the gears. I never did use the shift up through gears. 17 city, 23 highway. I think I got a little bit better gas mileage on the highway than 23 miles a gallon. It don't have a reader to tell, but I think so. It did really good on the highway gas mileage and around town. I was very pleased with it. So let's jump over to my channel right here, TattsForLife. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment. It helps me out. Show me some support. Also, if you want to show some support, this hat, if you like it, is on my eBay store. You can check it out. It's 25 plus shipping or best offer on if nobody ain't snatched it up by the time you see this video. It's a size large, I do believe, and it's a little big on me, but it looks good. Imagine how good it look on you. Yep. I have trouble with my L's. Yep. And R's. I know I'm gonna get a comment for it, so it's rabbit season. Duh. You don't have to put it in the comment section. Okay, back to what I was saying. The Mitsubishi Endeavor, go over some things. I got mine, it had a bent oil pan units in the videos. But I ain't gonna jump into that story, but usually they got a noisy engine, and when they got a noisy engine, the oil has not been changed, and the air filter and stuff, and they just down clearances. You ain't gonna get it to quieten down unless you change the factory card for oil, which is 5W20, I do believe. Don't hold me to that. Check your owner's manual and put some 1540 Rotella. It's diesel oil. It didn't hurt mine, and it should do fine. That when I got rid of it, that's what I switched to. It was starting to make a little bit more noise than it should, but it ran good for 4 years. And it still runs good. It's just the back end is rusted out of it. The cradle, I go in details. You need to check your cradle in the back, because if it's rusty, you ain't gonna find a replacement if it's all-wheel drive. This one was. Go figure. Front ones you can find replacements so you can buy them, but the back you cannot. So the main thing too, if you're looking to buy one of these used focus camera. Focus. Okay. I try not to move so much. I talk with my hands. But anyway, the power windows. I ain't got them right here. I got these door here, these power window switches and stuff. This video. Uh-oh, my dog's barking. I bet they see a deer. I'm in the country. It's quite common for deers and coyotes and stuff. But anyway, back to this. It's quite common for the wires in between the door and stuff to break and your windows not work. And, people don't check that and they just diagnose it as needing a window switch, which is expensive. A master switch for the driver doors. Or needing a regulator, which is expensive if you can't do it yourself. It's expensive too to buy the part, especially with this economy. So check the wires in between the door. There's a rubber boot. You can peel it back. I got a full video on fixing mine. It was very easy to fix and never had no more issues out of it once I did. And it didn't cost me nothing but sorter and a sorting gun, which I did have. So it was done free. If you ain't got that, that will be added cost. We got the windows out of the way. We got the noisy engine out of the way. The common problem with the Mitsubishi Endeavor is struts. The struts wear out very quickly in these, I have noticed, and they ride like shit. So, struts are affordable. Don't buy aftermarket struts that's fully loaded. Buy just the shocks and rent the tool from the parts store. Do it yourself, save you some money. I got a video on the whole thing. I'm pretty sure of me doing it on here, of me changing new shocks inside the struts. It's very simple to do. Well, it's not simple, but it's very once you get into it, it's 1 out of 10. I give it like a 3. It ain't difficult. I put probably 2 sets of wheel bearings on this Endeavor since I owned it in 4 years. Could have been because the shocks, the way they had the wheels angled and stuff, maybe rode kind of funny because it did wear down tires off for a while. Or it could just been give it up to cheap wheel bearings. I ended up putting a set of Detroit Axle wheel bearings in it. Did really good. Shout out to Detroit Axle. They always treated me good. You see a lot of the products on the channel, which you're getting ready to see another video with some rotaries from Detroit Axle. Let's see. That'll be uploaded soon. Now the back, I know you probably like, go ahead, talk about the back of the... Yeah, well, before we jump into the back, you need to test drive this vehicle if you think about buying one, the Endeavor, or if you own one right now and you're watching this video. If it feels like it's walking side to side, then it's probably the little, they got, you know, your bars come off attached to your wheel. You got bushings enough. Get somebody to shake it, you know, push on it, move it up and down while you watch. None of that should move, you know, and make sure that you ain't got this going on, you know, with your boat. This is a boat. This is like the axle eye comes off, and, you know, okay. Dirty mind people trying to explain, trying to give you a visual, and your head goes somewhere else. Once you get that out of the way and that's not moving, you want to check the cradle. Make sure there's no rust holes, especially in the back. The back cradle, you cannot find one. I tried. I would have ordered one. I loved this Endeavor. I had a lot of videos on it. It was just nice. It had AC, had a sound system. The heat worked. It drove good. After I fixed the transmission shimmer, which I'll get with, you know, get to in a minute. So the cradle underneath the Mitsubishi Endeavor, ain't got nothing to visualize it here, but you can see, crawl under it, back towards the wheel of the bumper. If you got an all-wheel drive, it's for the rear end attaches. Also, if you got a two-wheel drive, it's for the dead axle, where your wheels attach, would be attached to, but it wouldn't have the full cradle. That's an all-wheel drive thing. But if you got the all-wheel drive, the back cradle is very important. If it rusts out, you're not going to find one. You can't buy one. Hard to find used. I couldn't find one used. I checked. I was going to have one shipped in. So what I ended up doing was patching it the best I could. My buddy took the Endeavor off my hands. He drove it to it couldn't be drove no more. I probably could get the Endeavor back and fix it. He tried to find somebody to fix it. I don't have a lift. Well, I could fix it. I could take the cradle out, repair that patch, you know, with a new tube that's eat out. And or I can, you know, take the cradle completely out, build a brand new cradle for it from scratch out of tubing, and powder coat it, make it all nice, and spend all that money on tubing and fix it and drive it more. But there ain't nobody practical in the right mind is going to go to the trouble to buy a tube bender, buy the probably $1,000 worth of tube, and take the time to build a new cradle for it. And you can't find a used one, or it'd be simple to change. It won't be too simple, but it won't be hard. It just unbolt the wheel in, drop it down, unbolt the cradle, fried it out, and put everything back together. You wouldn't even have to pull the wheel in or nothing, just drop it down, lift the body, and switch the cradle. Wouldn't even probably have to undo the drive shaft. It's sad. I'll tell you, I like that vehicle. Now, if you got one and it feels like it's wheel hopping in the back, maybe jumping, or it just feels like it's jumping at a certain speed and stuff, transmission shimmer. The only way you're going to get that out, if you watch my video, is using some, what kind of shimmer god was that? Mitsubishi Endeavor. TattsForLife. Let's see if I can... Endeavor shake. Do I got it? Oh, well, here what I was talking about the bushing. You can see right here, it was wore out and hits wearing my tires down. Now, it's also had a hop, a very bad hop. And right here it is, shutter from Lube God. It's an instant shutter fix. That stuff like that, you can just add it to your transmission fluid. What happens is these foreign cars got a lot more clearance in them, and they need these, you know, I guess you want to say additives, more additives in the marking cars. So they take and wear out over time with thousands and thousands, 100,000 of miles. The additives just wear down. The friction additives do. That makes frictions and stuff can move around and shake, like the torque converter and stuff. So you add this shutter guard to it, and it fixes it because it gives the transmission back its additives that it's missing that's wore down over 100,000 miles. Now, you can do this with a new transmission fluid change. Usually it takes 2 because you can't get it all out because of old fluid and torque converter. So what would I recommend doing is just go ahead and change your fluid. Don't worry about a filter. They don't got a filter. Don't worry about a gasket kit. If it ain't leaking, don't bother with it. There's a drain plug. Drain the transmission fluid in it. Fill it up to the proper fluid level and add the shutter guard mix to it. Add some extra friction materials in there because when you change the fluid, they still going to be old. Even though you drain it, there's old fluid in the torque converter, so the shutter guard will combat not having a full transmission fluid changed, like if it was new. So just do that, and that fixed this Endeavor for 3 years at least. It didn't have no issues, and it still don't. It just can't drive because the wheel ain't attached to it no more. Up to the cradle where the back arm goes, yeah, it's not attached no more. So 1 out of 10, what would I give the Mitsubishi Endeavor? I love mine. I'd give it a 10 if it's up to par. If you're looking for something to drive every day to work or just commute and you need an SUV, then the Mitsubishi Endeavor is if it's in tip-top shape. If it's got any of these problems I named, it's going to be a headache. I got mine, like I said, at scrap price, which if you get yours for like $300, $400, $500, it's worth it. Now, if you get one with any of these problems I named for $2,500 or above, I would not recommend it at all. I would let it set. There's a reason it sat so long and nobody's bought it. It's not a good deal. You might rush out like, oh, it's an SUV and this and that, and I can fix these problems. You can fix this right here. You can do it yourself. And you can fix the windows yourself, okay? But if that cradle's gone, you can't. The shutter is a hit or miss, so maybe test drive it if you can and buy some. It's like $18 at an auto parts store, AutoZone, Advance Auto, and put some in it while you're driving it. If it goes away, then buy it. If it don't, then stay away from it because the torque converter is done past repair. And if it's noisy, oil change may fix it a little bit more, down. So $2,500 is a little bit much to pay for one if it's got all it's needing done to it. Like I said, I love mine, and if you're watching and you got one, then you probably love it too. This makes me want to go buy mine back. I don't need it though. Have you seen how many cars I own? Jeez. As always, hope you enjoyed this video, just me ranting on about a Mitsubishi Endeavor. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. I gotta go check see what my dog's barking at. Probably a deer though. It's getting fall, and you know what that means. It's about time to put a deer in the freezer. Get us some fresh deer meat. So thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. See you next time.